What's best for me and my family, dog. If that's here or if that's wherever the case may be, man, I'm finna open that door for myself, dog. I'm out, bro. So it was great playing here, but at the end of the day, bro, I got to do what's best for for my career.
I mean, you thinking about leaving here?
If it is, hey, yes.
All right, we're breaking it down. So Tyreek Hill said that after the Dolphins lost to the Jets in the final game of the season. Now he's defending his comment saying, what y'all had heard at the end of the season was frustration. I've been winning my whole life. Y'all don't understand. I bust my behind every day. I deserve to feel like that. I deserve to have some kind of opinion. Y'all just want me to say, oh, well, get him next year. No, bump that. We got to come back. We got to put some pressure on. Y'all got to fix this. Come on, add some bleeping dogs in this. I compete, and I love to compete. S.A., do you think Tyreek's comments are fair or foul?
They're foul. Might want to hear that. Where the camera at? Let me tell you something, man. Tyreek Hill is one of the great receivers in the National Football League. As far as I'm concerned, one of the greats in history. Yeah, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, this brother's right there. I mean, he's spectacular. It's no doubt about that, right? And he's absolutely right in terms of his hard work and him deserving to have his opinion. But that doesn't mean it doesn't deserve to be critiqued for its veracity or lack thereof. The fact of the matter is he doesn't sound, what he said the other day. First of all, don't bring up your family. Now, when it comes to the bag, I got that part. Mm-hmm. But once you got the bag, that ain't about your family. Mm-hmm. Now it's about you. Yeah. You were in an elite situation. Who have we been talking about this entire show? Could you imagine what the Kansas City Chiefs would be if Tyreek Hill was still there? Yeah. Could you imagine? It would be off. It wouldn't be fair. That's how electrifying he is. You chose to leave, but when you chose to leave, you didn't just choose to leave and took the money. You took a shot at Patrick Mahomes. To a tongue of a law, man. He's more accurate. He's going to be more accurate. What? You going to compare somebody to that dude that you've left? And what have they done since then? They've won 2 Super Bowls without you. And so when you talk about
3.
I'm going we'll see. But they're going to 3 Super Bowls. But
they've gone to 3, Stephen.
They're going to 3. But here's the deal, y'all.
Yes.
How you going to sit up there and say, you're talking about, we got to fix this bleep? Well, wait a minute. You were part of it. You knew what you was walking into because you knew it was going to be inferior to what you left. Yeah. You can't be talking like that, acting like you get to absolve yourself and your decision-making from this situation. You did it to yourself. You did it to yourself.
I don't want to hear nothing Tyreek Hill got to say. Tyreek Hill quit in the 4th quarter on his team. I don't want to hear nothing about no frustration. I don't want to hear nothing about no dogs because you weren't the dog in the 4th quarter. Jalen Waddle asked you, Reek, you done? You quit. Was that about your family? Was that about being a dog? I don't want to hear a damn thing Tyreek Hill is saying because Tyreek Hill quit on his team. No different than what Campbell did to the San Francisco 49ers. The only difference was, Kyle Shanahan came out and said what he had done. He was asked to go back, he had done. He was asked to go back in, and he said he didn't do it. Tyreek Hill quit. And then now what he's trying to do is talk about, man, I'm frustrated. Bro, I played, RC played, DOU played. Everybody that's played this game has been frustrated. Tom Brady's the greatest winner in this game. He's been frustrated, but he didn't quit. You quit. Simple as that. I don't want to hear nothing about no frustration. I don't want to hear nothing about being no dog. I don't want to hear nothing about your family. I hope your family is well. You quit. It disqualifies everything that you said after that.
I think number one, don't complain about the life that you chose. You chose to leave.
That's what we're all saying.
Okay? Yeah. Number two, when you complain, you make yourself the victim. You're not the victim here, Tyreek. You had the opportunity to stay in Kansas City, and rightfully so, chose the way that you wanted to go. I'd also say this. Everyone's got professional choices. With that professional choice, there is going to come pros and cons. This is one of the cons of that professional choice that Tyreek Hill made. This is what comes with that. I don't necessarily mind the trying to apply the pressure and trying to, force Miami to improve, but you chose this.
Well, I think it's more than about choosing this, right? Like there are certain people who were in the Steelers locker room who could tell me whatever they wanted. They could tell me to play harder. They could tell me to be better. They could tell me to work harder. They could tell me to show up. No, none of them never needed to tell me that, but I would be okay listening to them because they showed up. I would be okay listening to them because when I was pulling up at 5:30, you were pulling up at 5:30 and we walked in together. When I was leaving late or when I was having extra meetings and paying for people to come so we could have food so the young guys could come eat and watch the film and learn how to study, you were doing the same thing in your position room. If you do that, you get the opportunity to say whatever the hell you want. It's not just about the choice you made. It's about the choice you made, the consequences, and your response. Football is hard. It's a tough game, and everybody who works hard at this game, everybody who accomplishes a lot, sacrifices a lot to do it. Yeah. Tyreek Hill is no different than a million other dudes that did exactly what we were blessed to do. The difference is when we were 7-8, or when we were 8-8, or when we was getting blown out, I said to myself, I'm going to dig my heels in the ground, I'm going to run downhill, I'm going to hit everybody in the face mask until the clock strikes 0, because that's what I could control. What Tyreek could have controlled, no matter if Snoop Huntley was at quarterback, if Tua Tagovailoa was at quarterback, was to run his route as hard as he possibly could, was to block as hard as he possibly could. And you can't do none of that from the sideline. I'm going to be honest. I didn't have this incredible tie to the executives. I didn't have this incredible tie to the owners, even though I had amazing owners in the Rooneys. But I did have that tie to Mike Tomlin. I did have that tie to Brett Kiesel, to Aaron Smith, to Troy Polamalu, to Ike Taylor, and we were all going to sacrifice the same thing. So when you do quit on me, when you do choose yourself over the team, you have lost the right to talk about us. There's no turning back. You lost the right. And so when he goes in the locker room and now he's trying to backtrack and say, I'm a competitor and I'm challenging you to do something different, you're not. Because
no, you're
what
not.
you could have said at that moment is, I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can, and I hope we do something different.
But I think both you and Shannon points are further accentuated and punctuated by the fact that the situation and circumstances that he's complaining about, he actually chose. Yeah. Right. So it's bad enough. It's bad enough that you're like y'all are saying, y'all absolutely right. But y'all are saying that regardless of the circumstances that you may have had no control over, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to dig your heels in. In his case, you chose that situation and then tried to shortchange what you had accomplished, which was greatness with others. You tried to minimize others. You're going to roll up in it. You might call it big up in Tua, but you know it was a certain shot at those guys, too.
Don't even mention the other guys.
Don't even mention the other guys. You don't do it. He did that because you got your money, you got your bag, and you were in a better situation, you thought, so you were going to talk. And now it's come back to bite him.
Stephen A., having covered the NFL and NBA for over 30 years, RCDO, you and I played. The number one thing that you can't do as a competitor is quit.
Right.
The competitor competition. The one thing, think about this. I don't know if you guys watched the Australian Open. Novak Djokovic retired with an injury and the crowd booed him because he quit. Now, I believe he was hurt and he couldn't go on. Tyreek wasn't injured. Tyreek pulled himself out. He saw he wasn't going to get 1,000 yards. He saw he wasn't going to get the catches. He wasn't going to make SportsCenter. He did, but it wasn't in the light that he knew he was going to make it in. Bro, I don't want to hear nothing because you made it about you. And keep it on you. Keep the focus on you. Talk about you not taking your butt back in that game. I don't want to hear nothing about no dogs. I don't want to hear nothing about no puppets. I don't talk about he want a big dog. I don't want to hear nothing. You quit. That's all I know. I don't know anything that happened after that. You quit.
And if we're being honest, it's stinging him. The more success the Kansas City Chiefs have without him, it's also showing a level of jealousy because they're doing it without you.
Well, it's also the money don't replace it. Yes. The money don't replace that.
That's right.
The money doesn't replace that.
It's great. I said, think how much we question the Kansas City
Chiefs. Hold on, Stephen A. Guys, he wanted the bag. I thought he wanted the bag. What you mean to tell me you making $30+ million a year and you not happy? I thought the bag was what we wanted, RCDO. Stephen A., the bag. You got the bag. Now what's the problem?
It's all about the bag.
Oh, it gets hard to get your butt up out of bed and drag yourself in there and study harder and practice harder and lift harder and eat cleaner when you getting your eyes beat in. But see, that's what shows me what you are as a person, as a man, as a competitor.
Right. Let me tell you something that y'all, as athletes, have taught a lot of people without even realizing it. A lot of times, and I often use this, I care about the bag until I have it. Once I have it, do I have direct deposit?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think about it. Because now it's about the work.
Yep.
See, what happens is he thought the bag was going to be everything. And what's unforgivable about it is that how could you think that way when you've tasted winning?
Yeah, you got to the mountain.
Yeah.
You know, because you've been there. So if you got to get back on that field, it's one thing to go for the bag. It's another thing to think that once you got it, you were good. Because you're supposed to know better. And he...
And they'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
3rd and long, it's Smith escaping the pressure right. Slings this deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Capital and FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the Buffalo Bills. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from FedEx Field. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football.
That's what it is, baby. That's
And
what
he
it
will
is.
score. Touchdown, Washington. John Bates. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And Washington has tied the ball game with the extra point still to come. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And with that, his guys take the lead here by a point.
A pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7. 7 yards the pickup there. 3 yards remain for 2nd down. Fitzpatrick now. Slings this deep from McLaurin. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And from where we sit, if you had told me that that ball was somehow going to get from point A to point B, I would have told you no way. I mean, that was an absolute cannon shot. And he still dropped it right on the money, too.
And that ball traveling 68 yards in the air, according to Next.